So, Anderson, hi. Good to see you again.
How you doing? It's always nice to follow a reign of P.
Yeah. Well, we have to explain the stories to the people.
I know. Someone is.
In any way we can,
Anderson. I know you guys are doing real news.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you see that our friends did real news tonight?
Yes, I did.
Don't try to steal them for CNN. Because you guys are the fake news, right? There's a lot of fake news out there.
I believe we are the original fake news.
You are the original fake news.
According to the president, yeah.
We'll get to that in just a moment, and your fakeness. But how was your weekend?
My weekend, it was fun. It was weird, though, because, the president started tweeting at like 6:50-something a.m.
6:35.
Right. I'd flown to Phoenix I was doing an investigation for 60 Minutes all weekend. So I've actually muted the president on Twitter. Don't tell him.
What?
I've muted him.
You can do that?
Yeah, when you get annoying people tweeting you don't want to delete because then that tells them you've deleted them.
Oh.
So if you just mute them, they think you're still following them. And you don't actually see their tweets.
And then Anderson, then the tweets can get backed up and you get an infection. Okay, so
you
muted him.
I muted him, so I go to Phoenix, and I was spending all weekend working, on this story. So I wasn't aware of all the, this agita that's going on. And I get back on Sunday, and I finally, turn on my phone again. I'm like, what? And then I was like, and Arnold Schwarzenegger too? I mean...
I just want to point out that you are a real newsman. I watch you every night. I enjoy your work. I believe you report the news in a very fair way and accurately. And you just said that you mute the President of the United States. That what he says, which leads to my next question.
I mean, look, I have people following him, so they tell me what... I just don't want to have that drama in my life. It's like...
Again,
it's like having
president of that drama.
No, it's like having a...
You have to accept that he's president.
It's like having
You have to accept that he's president.
No, of course I do. I have great respect for the president.
Doesn't seem like it.
I just don't need to follow him on Twitter.
You wouldn't have muted Ike.
Listen, I have friends who have mania. I don't want to be around them all the time. I don't want them to have my private line and be able to call me. You know what I mean? I don't want the ups and the downs in my life. I just want to be calm.
You have a private line, no one can call.
Yeah, that's true.
No one actually
does have it. I don't really want to talk to
Well, okay, so how do you decide, how do you, as newsman, a correspondent for 60 Minutes, as it were.
As it were.
As it were. Had to throw the 60 Minutes in there. You can't just say I was in Phoenix. I was in Phoenix for third 60 Minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you judge what tweet to report on or not? Because there's so many. Do you repeat on, there is more basis to the Schwarzenegger tweet than there is basis to the Obama tweet.
That's true.
Why isn't the Schwarzenegger bigger news?
Technically, his ratings have not, I guess, been as big as Donald Trump's were, so I guess...
Sad end to a great show.
Yeah, I know, sad.
Yeah, sad.
That's a nice remark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the reporting on the tweets, I do think it's a large distraction. I mean, I think that's clearly part of what he's doing.
Is it pure distraction?
No, I don't think it is, because I also think it's like a Rorschach. It's those machines that register earthquakes from a great distance. This is like a seismograph. This is like a real-time seismograph of the inner workings of the president's head, and it's fascinating. We had to wait
his
for...
emotions. It's his emotional
Yes, it's an emotional seismograph. He's like a live wire of emotion. We had to wait for decades to hear Nixon on tapes. We hear Donald Trump in real time. Even because usually, people try to keep the president sort of cloistered and not in front of the public at all times. He's broken through.
And obviously, whoever pries his phone out of his hands takes Saturdays off.
That's true. Well, it was funny. The Washington Post wrote an article. You actually quoted it at the beginning of your show. But the part of the article that I found so funny today is it talks about how, you quoted the part where it said that the president, afterward, he felt better, later on in the day. It actually talks about him needing a release. And he gets angry and it builds up, and then he needs a release, and then he feels better, and then he gets angry again, and he needs another release. I'm like, there are many other forms of release. You know what I mean? There's a lot of...
Yeah, he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs.
Well, yeah. There's things you can do.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, Anderson.
I don't know.
Hands are too small. Too small. Too small. Hey, how does it feel? Let's get to the fake news thing. How does it feel, you guys at CNN? Because say what you will about CNN, over the years, it's not like you were like raving ideologues over there. You were kind of the like
Pretty middle of the road.
manila envelope of news. Like it does the job.
I believe we're fair and we're accurate.
Were you going to say balance? Were you about to
No,
say
I
balance?
wasn't. I believe that's trademarked.
But are you surprised that you guys are the bad guys as opposed to MSNBC? They must be so jealous of how much you get attacked. Because no publicity, is bad publicity is what I'm saying.
The thing is, Donald Trump watches CNN, which is why he talks about it so much, because he actually watches it. And even when he's railing against it, he's watching it. I've had him watch my show and tweet about people I'm interviewing while I'm interviewing them. Oh, that guy is a jerk. Anderson Cooper's interviewing. What a waste. Things like that while you're interviewing him. It's very strange.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he said that. I've never been on your show. No, what about, does that change the way you report your show? If knowing that the president is watching you guys at CNN, do you think?
No, I mean, I think you
try to get a rise out of him as well.
No, you do your job. I mean, the idea, you want to be tough. And look, I mean, I didn't have a great relationship with the Obama White House. I used to interview President Obama on the campaign trail before he became president, a couple times as president. I did reporting on the BP oil spill. I spent 2 months in New Orleans straight just doing nothing but BP oil spill basically every night. And the White House stopped, talking to me for years. So I didn't get to, I didn't have a great relationship. I didn't really have any relationship. I also don't want to really have a relationship with these people. Like I interviewed Kellyanne Conway a couple weeks ago, maybe my last interview with her ever, I don't know. I mean, no, I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just saying I haven't interviewed her since, and it was like supposed to be a 12-minute interview, but it ended up being like 26 minutes. And at one point in the interview, she said something to me along the lines of like, we may have to rethink the relationship we have. I was like, we don't have a relationship. And I don't, I mean, no offense. And I said, like, look, I respect you and stuff, but I don't want to have a relationship with you. I don't want to be friends. I don't want to hang out. I don't believe reporters should be going to, like, parties at the White House.
What about the correspondence?
I've went once. I will never go again.
What year did you go?
It is, I don't know. Probably when I first got to CNN. It is the worst. I mean, you were great.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I watched.
It's a wonderful.
You were hilarious. I watched you on television.
People ready to laugh.
But see, right, exactly. That's the thing. I mean, for comedians, it's got to be awful. But it's like the worst bar mitzvah party you've ever been to. And there's security, tough security. So you got to wait to get into the bad party.
It wasn't a bar mitzvah. I was afraid it was going to be my bris. Let's break some real news here.
Yeah.
You tweeted this. This was, where were you?
I Instagrammed.
And why wasn't I invited?
I was
to
on my
whatever this
Christmas
is?
vacation.
Where were you?
I was in Myanmar at an elephant sanctuary.
Yeah?
I was watching it. It was like my Vladimir Putin moment.
Yeah.
I was watching an old elephant.
Exactly. Putin's only on a horse. You're on an elephant.
I wanted to one-up Putin,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an elephant sanctuary. It was like these elephants who have been abused in the timber trade for their whole lives. And
wow.
You get to feed them and not eat them. You get to feed them.
All right.
And then
we just made some news.
Eat them.
We just made some news. Well, Anderson, thank you so much for being here. Anderson Cooper, 360. Airs weeknights on CNN. We'll be right back with Judd Apatow. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. My next guest tonight wrote and directed the 40-year-old